You've probably been VOD reviewing the wrong way your entire life. So today I'm going to teach you the way that pros VOD review. The problem I see with the average player when they VOD review their own deaths is that they're only kind of focused on roughly like 4 minutes around the time of their death. And they're just looking for like the simple mistakes of why they died. Like, oh, I shouldn't have edited on that guy, my bad, because that killed us. Or maybe when we were getting shot, we could have dropped the layer so we survived. These things are fine to learn from, don't get me wrong, but these are called micro mistakes and improvements. But what I want you guys to do that are watching this video is start to think bigger. Because a lot of the ways you die in tournaments would have been preventable if you did something 15 minutes ago by a very big idea, which we call macro mistakes and improvements. Whilst learning like the micro mistakes of why you died is alright, focusing on the macro mistakes of why you died is what's going to make you improve the most and make you that 200 IQ IGL. You're probably still confused to what I'm talking about. Well, don't worry, let's go into in-game and I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. So first of all, they die on this rotate on 7th zone, and you can see they're on the edge with everyone else rotating in, so you can kind of just assume how they die. They just have to rotate with everyone, there's people holding them and they die because of this. And then most of you would go back like a minute or two, and then you might have thought, maybe we should have gone right here instead, or maybe we should have gone left here, we might have survived. Or maybe you even go back further in the VOD review and think, oh, we should have just rotated faster. But what if I told you the reason they died here is probably something they did like 15 minutes ago. So all the way back at this point of the game, they are on this hill right here, but they end up trying to key this player here. And it's crazy to think that doing this is probably going to be one of the main reasons that they end up dying on the edge zone all the way at the end of the game. Because what happens here, I think, they key this team and then they waste a bunch of time, because here they probably thought it's fine to just key on dead side, it's not going to do much, because the rotate's just going to be easy after this, right? It doesn't matter. But what I'm thinking is, imagine if they did this right. They either stayed on that hill with the launch pad, so when the next zone pops they can instantly pad in center, or they even just went to a nice, more central position instead of keying these people. Because if they did that and they were in a nicer position, then when 4th zone popped, say it popped down there, then they would instantly be able to rotate into 4th zone into like a nice deep position, which then would have made it easier to rotate instantly into the 5th zone, and it just is a constant snowball. All because of the good one decision they made before to be in a position to easily get into the next zone. And because they didn't do what I said they should probably do, they had to stay edge on this zone, and then in the next zone, because they were already edge in the previous zone, they couldn't get a good position quickly, and that just made them stay edge on every single zone, leading up to the point where it was just so bad that they were edge every time that they died. I don't really want you to like pay specific attention to this one example, but I just want you to use this as an example to show you how deep you should be thinking about your deaths in tournaments. Imagine how smart you would be in this game if you always thought about your deaths this deeply.